Today we talk about gloves in MMA.
For the win! He did it!
Alright, so we were talking about banning gloves in MMA.
Yes. Yeah. And I have, and the thing is I have a little bit of a controversial take on this topic. And I tried to explain it to my wife, and I tried to explain it to my cousin. And I don't know if they just think it's so crazy that they didn't want to listen to my view on it, or if it really is just so crazy that no one should ever listen to my view on it.
Yeah, let's hear it. Because the thing with me is I have no choice but to respect your opinion on UFC and MMA because I don't know fuck all about it.
No, but here's the thing.
I have to respect your opinion on it.
But the thing is I think you could have an opinion on this, which is why I want to talk to you on it.
Let
me go ahead and tell you the whole topic.
Let's hear it.
I think that if we eliminated gloves from MMA, the sport would be safer.
Fuck. Okay. Hit me with it.
Okay.
Let's hear this shit.
So, why do we... I mean, okay, so you understand the purpose of the gloves, right?
No. Tell me.
You don't?
Why do we...
Come on.
Why do they wear gloves?
You know why they
wear
gloves.
But why do they wear gloves?
Just to protect their hands.
Okay.
So they wear gloves to protect their hands, right?
Yes. I just learned that.
No, you didn't. There's no way you did. So here's the thing. They wear gloves to protect their hands. Now, let me ask you something, okay?
Okay.
Let's take just the corner of this table, right?
Yeah.
Let's take the corner of this table. If I tell you, punch that table as hard as you want to, right?
As hard as I want to?
Yeah.
I wouldn't punch it at all.
No, come on. You have to punch that table, okay?
Okay.
Now, punch that table. Actually, not as hard as you want to. Punch it. Just punch that table in the corner. Don't do it. Don't really do it, but because that'll definitely hurt. But if I said, for some reason, you have to punch the corner of that table, and you don't have a glove on, you're going to punch it, right? Because in this weird situation, you have to. But you're definitely not going to punch it as hard as you would if you had gloves on. If you had a protection...
I get that.
Okay. So
yeah.
So
I'm with you.
It definitely protects your hands, right? But in this situation where I'm talking about how I believe it would be safer to not have them, has not a thing to do with your hands at all. It has to do with the way that you're punching, the regard for how you punch, and the power that you punch someone in the head with. Okay?
Okay.
So if you're thinking, because number one, I think that it's crazy that we have gloves on our hands and nothing on our elbows. Your elbows are definitely more deadly, definitely more dangerous than your hand is.
So you want me to go out there and fight and look like an 8-year-old that got their first bicycle or something?
What do you mean?
You know, like they've got the bicycle helmet, they've got gloves, they've got elbow pads, knee pads.
No. What I'm
socks,
saying
jacket.
is that if this is to protect the person you're punching, and this is to protect your hands, well, what the heck is this? What the heck is this? You go out and fight a Tony Ferguson, he's ripping your face to shreds with his pointy elbows. That doesn't hurt at all. That doesn't hurt at all. I feel like if you didn't have gloves... But it's not like
you can't throw an elbow with near the velocity you can punch with. I don't care.
Down.
There's
bam.
no way... But it's not like it's in a really specific situation. You can hit somebody with a killer elbow, though. You can throw a badass punch at them.
Yeah.
In any situation.
Now, here's the thing, though. Are you going to hit that with more smarts? Are you going to have to use more wit? Are you going to have to think more carefully about hitting the corner of this table with those gloves on or with those gloves off? Because we're thinking... MMA, how new? MMA is roughly is a really, really new sport considering its popularity. And so we're talking about brain damage. What is it? CTE? We're talking
CTE.
about that. We finally found it in the first NFL player who's still alive. And we haven't found any in fighters yet, but you know we are. Mark Hunt's got to have some sort of CTE.
Yeah, no shit. No
so
I'll say Bisping too. There's no way he doesn't have something.
Oh my gosh. I don't know, man. And that's the thing, like, okay, so number one, you're gonna be thinking more smart. You're gonna be thinking smarter about how you're hitting someone. You're gonna be more careful on how you hit someone. And heck, if you can hit them with the elbow, you might as well take off your gloves too.
I disagree.
Might as well take off your gloves.
I agree with that.
I just think that people would have to be more crafty.
I don't think they would. I don't really think it would change that much.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because they're on that adrenaline rush. From my very storied athletic career.
Mm-hmm.
One time I rolled my ankle like an hour before the game.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled it bad. It hurt to walk on it. But I was immediately fine. Like, I played like it wasn't hurt at all.
Mm.
So I feel like one or two punches, they'll be careful. But once the adrenaline kicks in, they're going to throw hands.
Mm.
They're going to throw as hard as they can, no matter what they have protecting their hand. Because it's pretty common for them to break their hand.
I'm sure it is.
Really?
I'm sure it is. Well, they wrap it. Not only do they wrap it, but they also have the gloves on as well. But I'm still sure that they still break them.
Like, I understand the viewpoint you have, but I just don't, like, adrenaline-wise, I don't think that once you get, like, mid-first round or whatever, like, they're warmed up and they're in it, I don't think it's going to change.
Well, let's think about this. This is one of the biggest points right here. Are there more injuries in the NFL or rugby?
I mean, they're not even close to the same sport, though.
Yeah, that's the closest thing to football without pads we have.
Yes, but that doesn't mean it's that close at all.
I'm just saying. Would there be... I know for a fact that if the NFL didn't have pads, there would be less injuries. You have to admit that.
No. I don't think
really?
So. No.
People run at people with no regard.
You're saying the game is going to change. If the NFL took pads away, it wouldn't be the NFL anymore. It would be a different sport.
It would still be football.
But it wouldn't be the same sport. Like, the sport is what it is now because of all the rule changes and all the guidelines they have.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know, if you took pads away and, say, played backyard football, it's not going to be NFL football. It's going to be...
It'd be the same players, though. They'd get injured less, I feel like. Because I feel like when you take away the safety and security of the padding, you have to rely on your brain more.
I don't agree.
You don't think that people would hit less. Say it's still tackle football, but just no pads. You're not gonna have
I'm not on board with you.
A big...
I can see where you're coming from for UFC, but no way in football would there be less injuries with these world-class athletes just fucking smashing each other.
But they wouldn't be smashing each other, I don't think.
Yes, they would. I don't think the game would change that much without pads.
Here's one reason. A couple episodes ago, we talked about that basketball player who injured himself.
Who's that?
I don't remember his name.
Is it Derrick Rose?
Yes. We talked about
Derrick
Rose. That's all
non-contact, though. That's not from running into people and getting hit.
I know.
Even if they're...
But the thing is he's not the same. He doesn't play the game the same way. Now that he knows about injury.
But
he knows about how he hurts himself.
It's not because he started out playing basketball with full pads on and then he took them off, so he has to adjust his play style.
It's because he's scared of getting hurt. And that would be the same thing with NFL
But he wasn't wearing pads in the first place. He didn't have any sort of protection in the first place.
Right. But I don't think you're understanding like what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that fear of getting hurt will happen to NFL players as well. That fear of getting hurt.
I don't agree. I just don't agree.
Why though? I don't understand.
I don't understand your viewpoint. Like they're gonna play softer and not as. I don't think that's
not
true.
Really softer, but they'll play smarter. A way to not get injured. I feel like they would. I feel like they would. I feel like instead of hitting people like this, they would hit people like this with their palms. I feel like they would do other things, more crafty things in order to minimize injury for themselves and to still be competitive. And let me tell you something, you can still smack the crap out of someone with the palm. And so I feel like people would think more. I feel like they would be more hesitant. I feel like they would have to use their wit, strategy more, and therefore less injury to players or to fighters.
I don't agree. I really don't. I just think once like the adrenaline hits, they don't care how hard they're throwing.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that too, but then again, I have to also think that they're world-class fighters too. Which I know there's adrenaline for sure, but a lot of them try and train emotion. Now here's the thing. Boxing couldn't be interesting without gloves, I don't think.
Oh,
because they're just... Because, do I think it'd be safer? Freak yes, it would be safer if they didn't have gloves, because they would not hit each other as hard as they do. You take a Deontay Wilder or an Anthony Joshua and you take their gloves away, they're not trying to break their hands. That's the only tools that they have. A lot of times they're fighting 12-round fights, those two especially.
Yeah.
You know, it would not be as interesting. There'd be way more defensive boxing without gloves.
God,
So that's why.
I couldn't imagine watching Money Mayweather without gloves.
Yeah, I mean his hands are so tiny, and his hands are made of peanut brittle, anyways. So they would break definitely. But so I'm not really talking about like boxing because I'm not really talking about boxing because I don't think there's as many tools. There's not as many aspects to that game. Polymonology. But anyways, I don't know why you're laughing. Because Polymonology, I guess, started training MMA. Can you pull up something real quick? Let's just talk about for just 1 second.
Yep, what is it?
I can't remember who it was. It was a tweet, though, about Polymonology training MMA.
Can you spell it?
There it is.
Polymonology tweet?
Yeah. Training MMA or something like that. Yeah. Wait, no, I know. Who is it? I can't remember.
I don't think it's going to show up.
Dang, I can't remember. Anyways. Oh, that's another topic for another day. It's so funny. I'll tell you about it after this is over. But yeah, no, so I understand that that's like, it's an unpopular view when it comes to fighting and when it comes to, I mean, any kind of contact sport in general. I feel like that's an unpopular view. And I feel like I haven't met anyone that really understands or would agree with me on it. But I guess I can't explain it good enough, but in my head, I feel like people would be more cautious.
I understand, but I do still agree. I don't. Because it just been, I don't know. I don't agree. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't agree.
We'd see a lot less knockouts, I feel like. Which, I'll be honest, I have a love-hate relationship with knockouts.
Oh, gosh.
I do. I love to watch someone get knocked out.
Yeah.
But right, then after they get knocked out,
that's a topic for another time, though.
I feel like, oh, gosh. But anyways, yeah. So, no. Ray doesn't agree, but that's okay. I think that MMA would benefit health-wise. No gloves.
Okay.
But, you know.
Hey, everyone can have their opinion.
MMA, or UFC 1, UFC 2, that was some of the craziest stuff. And they could wear shoes. They could wear gis. There were guys who had one boxing glove, one bare knuckle. You know.
Like you can wear combat boots.
You can wear, like, whatever. There was no weight classes. One of the craziest things I ever saw was, like, Royce Gracie versus one of the biggest, fattest men I've ever seen in my entire life, and they just went at it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. You could take it a 1,000 different ways, but anyways, it's my view. As always,
thanks for listening and fuck off, LeBron. You're such a pussy bitch.
get on here and defend yourself, LeBron.
You too, Polymonology. Get on here.
I'm gonna find that tweet and we're gonna do another one.